Hello, YouTubers. Hello, subscribers. I'm going to try to be quick. This is a red alert. This is about, it's political. If you don't want to hear about it, click the button and say, hey, I'm not in the mood. But I'm responding to some of the comments, and it's interesting. What's interesting about it is that you can't defend the defenseless. You can't defend that. You can't defend January 6th. You can't defend what Donald Trump did and didn't do. So here's the deal. It was time to get a new president. So it was time to vote. Okay? During that time, you saw the Republicans, some of them, not all, trying to suppress our votes, our right to vote, by not allowing people that needed to do mail-in ballots do it. They were trying to stop that whole shebang. Then Greg Abbott decided to allow some of these ballot boxes to be removed, knowing that one box wasn't going to be enough for this whole community, because Texas is one of the largest states in the United States. We're big. And so the people in Houston, where they normally could drop off their ballots, the mail-in ballots, they were gone. They took them and thought that was a good idea. Look it up. So as they were trying to suppress the votes, Donald Trump was trying to take the election. And you can't tell me that he didn't. And no one wants to talk about that. They want to talk about the in-between and what happened before and what he said. And no, Donald Trump should have never been having a rally in the first place during the time that Joe Biden was having his votes solidified by the vice president, Mike Pence, the one that Donald Trump appointed. He was pissed off at him. Pissed. Upset. So he told his supporters that were armed, not just him, his son, Rudy Giuliani, and a few other ones, was ramming them up to go down there to the Capitol to stop the steal. That was the name of it. Stop the steal. Stop the steal. No, you were stealing it. Remember Stop the Steal? They had a whole slogan, a whole logo. I'm surprised he didn't make hats with it. Stop the steal. He advised his supporters, Proud Boys, white supremacy, all of them, mom and pa home people, just whomever, everyone that was at his speakathon. During the time in which he should have conceded. No, not Trump. A, either he just couldn't take it. B, he really wanted to be president for another 4 years. You probably would have been if you had to listen to your staff, if you had to listen to the advisors. No. You weren't listening to them. You were too busy firing them when they didn't do what you told them to do. However, Donald Trump got a lot of votes historically. And so did Joe, because we were coming. We were going to vote. And we were going to get those other people out there that couldn't get to the polls to vote. And while they were suppressing the votes, we were going to get them people out there too. This affects us all. Who is our commander-in-chief? And we have a right to vote. Don't we? And so what I was, this is the kicker. I'm surprised. I was waiting on something domestic to break out. I was waiting for something domestic to break out. Terrorist domestic, I mean. You guys saw us over here in the streets rioting and protesting. Yeah, it was bad. Do you remember, I said this in my last video, when Donald Trump walked to the church with the Bible? Sorry about the hair. And commanded and told the highest person that he had in the National Guard to walk with him. And the protesters were sprayed, and he treated them like they were not human. Who does that? Joe wouldn't have done that. You can't tell me Joe would have did that. Joe is for everyone. I'm sorry. And I didn't agree with everything that George W. Bush did during his stint in office. But I respected him and I supported him because although I didn't vote for him, he was the president. And at that point, you support your president because he is doing things for you now. Why would I hate on him? No. Donald Trump came in here and stirred us up. And it lasted for 4 years. He was impeached twice. That's never happened. Nixon was impeached, had an impeachment. But you know what he did? He lied about something. Watergate. Was it Watergate? Watergate ain't got nothing on Trump. This, like my husband just said, say it again, Booby. It fails in comparison. Pales in comparison. Thank you, sweetie. He could write a book. My husband could write his own book. That wasn't nothing. And what Nixon did, he humbled himself, admitted that he did something wrong, and stepped down. I bought the book. What is it? Woodward? Bob Woodward's book. Read it. It's a page turner. It is one of those that you keep in your library because he did his research and he tells the truth. And he talks about Donald Trump within this book of who he is. He talks about the Ukraine incident, how he was trying to go over there and get dirt on Joe Biden because Joe Biden was a threat, obviously. Who knew? Because I wasn't even rooting for Joe. Who did I have? I think I was going for someone else. It wasn't Joe. But I'm proud of Joe. He's doing really good. He's helping the people. I see it. I see a difference. And he's all about trying to help. And the Republicans are trying to stifle that. Because as Joe continues to rise and he continues to make wise and great decisions about us, it affects us. And it's good. And think about generations to come. What world do you want your kids living in? A Trump world? Or, something a little bit more stable? I really felt like we were digressing. I really felt like we were going back into something that we had just left, that we were trying to come away from. I'll talk about that another time. January 6th. What was Donald Trump doing over there? It wasn't his moment. It wasn't his time. And because of that, he created something. He created an angry mob. And they marched themselves over there and they broke out glass What else is there to see other than police officers? And I saw the people that I voted for, that I support, hiding and running and scared and didn't know, calling their loved ones saying, I may not be home tonight. But some of you want me to believe that there's some good in him. There is probably, but after January 6th, it's hard for me to swallow. Because not only did he go and turn on the TV and watch it, he didn't stop it. And he had the opportunity to stop a lot of that went down. That's my message. It wasn't his moment to be over there rallying about himself. It was his moment to support the current president. To this day, he talks about him wherever he go. He talked about Joe at Diamond's funeral, at the Ohio. I mean, he can't sleep without bringing up Joe's name and something negative that is going on. You don't hear George W. Bush doing that. And some of you guys hate Obama. Like he's the worst in the world. Like he's come on. What did he do? Let's talk about the Obamacare. And Trump was gonna take that. The only thing that I didn't agree with it is that you had to get it or you would have to pay something. And I don't even think I was against that, because if I'm going to be giving my money in taxes and giving my money to someone, that would be a good cause. If I had got fined for it or whatever, then I know my money was going to help someone in medical need. I'm all for it. But the reason why Obamacare was in place is so that every American could go to the doctor and not be turned away and say, we can't serve you, sir, because you don't have any insurance. And so they go home and then what? In pain? Suffering? Because they can't get Medicare? Some countries give it to you. I think Canada is one. And so you can't hate the reasoning behind trying to help. You can't hate the man. You can't hate Obama for trying to help. And so, Trump was going to come in and get rid of Obamacare. And so John McCain said, hold up. You don't have my vote. And so when that happened, Lindsey Graham just, I don't think it was either Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham straight turned his legacy into Kapuka. What do you stand for, Lindsey? And here's the kicker. Before Trump was president, all the Republicans was talking crazy about him. Oh, he's crazy. He's not fit to do. All of a sudden they changed because they realized how many supporters that he had. And I dare say afraid of him. I do believe Susan Collins was afraid. I believe those people, I believe that Donald Trump put fear in those Republicans into thinking that if you don't get behind me, then I'm going to, first of all, do a shout out about you. Oh, look like you want to say something about Trump. He will blast you in the news. Didn't he call somebody Pocahontas? Sons of bitches.
Yeah, he does all that.
I mean, come on. Oh, y'all need to go back to Africa?
Yeah, pretty much so.
But I'm supposed to be like, oh, I like him. He's a great guy. No. Nothing in this world will make me think anything other than what's instilled in my brain about Donald Trump, because I saw it. And on January 6th, did he stop them, or did he push them to go over there to do it on January 6th? And didn't it take him hours after begging and pleading with him to stop? Please, Trump, tell them, call the National Guard. Knowing it was going to take a few hours after that to get them over there, because they ain't over there waiting on them. They weren't on standby. And they should have been. I was just waiting for something to happen. When Trump was in the office, you sat back and you waited and say, okay, what's going on today? But January 6th took the cake. And at one moment in time, you're looking at it and you're just like this. Is this really happening? I hope I gave you like a red alert. This is a Donald Trump moment. And what Republicans do they have over there? They got Taylor Greene, Marjorie Taylor Greene over there. She is a loony bin. And anything might come out of her mouth for shock value. I think she wants to be a Trump 2.0. It's not working. Why would someone like that make their party better? Or no, aren't we for everyone? Or is it just some of us? You got to be a president for all people. And you got to make decisions that are not going to affect us all in a very tragic way. Because, and we got to talk about real things. We can't talk around the subject and then pick things that we want to talk about and say, oh, but the Democrats did this and the Democrats did that. They're not without blame. They're not without their skeletons. They're not without their issues. But what they're not doing is wreaking havoc in our society and dividing us. We're divided. I don't want to be divided. I think I talked about this. People come together for weddings, funerals, and, when someone has a baby, all these good things. We were divided, and we still are. And I can't help but to think that when Joe Biden said his speech, I'm going to reach across the aisle, regardless if you guys want me to or not. I'm coming. But the disrespect he gets from the Republicans is just nasty. They won't even show up to some of his events. So just lets us know that you don't want to be united. You don't want to do this together for the people, because it's for us, isn't it? Isn't it really about the little people like myself? And not about power? And if I'm going to get reelected and stuff, it's not about one man. It's about all of us. And those people that went to jail, that are in jail because of what they did on January 6th, they need to be. They need to be. And one woman gave her life for Trump. One woman did. She said, I don't care if I die. I'm going right over there. He pumped them up with that speech he gave. And all his cabinet members, the ones that was over there, and lawyer, now that's in trouble, because Giuliani in some serious trouble. They all are. And so is Trump. He's in some major legal trouble. And what I've known is that if they can't take you to jail, they're going to hit your pocket. And you can't tell me that his Superman outfit thing was an attempt to make money. And that's okay. He can. He should. He's going to need it. Because New York and all these, they're coming. They are. And I just don't understand how he can go for president when he's done so much illegal stuff. And here's the kicker. They're always talking about law and order. Start with yourself. I don't know if I mentioned John McCain. But John McCain did a speech once. And this one lady stood up and said, I hate Obama. He's not even from here. And he grabbed the mic out of her hand and he told her, what you're not going to do is disrespect him. That's a Republican. That's someone with character. That's someone knows the difference in helping the American people and doing things for themselves. Donald Trump is a self-centered person. He's a narcissist just like Meghan. I don't know if he's worse or better. But you know what Trump is going to do. So I kind of trust him more than I do Meghan because she has all these shenanigans. But no. I think Trump should be very proud of his 4 years. I really do. And that his supporters saw something in him that allowed him to be our president for 4 years. But there are some things that stung and still sting from his presidency. And one that you guys already know from me is and let's talk about it, the babies. They love to talk about how Obama put it in place. You enforced it. And how he got cages and stuff. Where were they? Would you rather them just be on the street hanging around? I believe they were giving them something so that they just wouldn't be sitting there on the bridges and you know, trying to do something about the border issue. They're running from something that is happening within their own country. And they're trying to save their own lives. They want a chance. What kills me is the Christianity of it all. God is for everyone. So we have to help everyone, don't we? Little bit is up. I gotta go. This video isn't for everyone. Check it out.